There's just freaking shoes everywhere. Time to clean up some laundry. It is January 20th, 2025, and we're having a cold front. I think the coldest front of the year so far, or of the winter. I'm just deep in cozy cocoon mode, and I think that that's good because I'm leaning into the gifts that winter brings, the hibernation that enables us to flourish through the rest of the year, and finding the balance between that voice that says you're not doing enough, why would you lean into winter rest time, and that voice that says this is the point so that you can be with the seasons and receive what they have to offer. Going into the new year for the first time, I had this perspective that it's not really the new year until the end of winter, the beginning of spring, and taking this pressure off of myself to need to go into the new year with force and with resolutions. And I really just saw it as a time of reflection and what can I let go of. You look at the earth, and the earth has let go of everything, you know. The trees have let go of their leaves, and I went to the new year in the darkness. I had a day and a moment where I really just felt like I had lost the plot, felt this pertinent sense of distraught and like impatience of like, when are these dreams gonna unfold in the way that I'm envisioning them. During the winter of 2025, I felt like I had no opportunities coming my way. I was broke, surviving on credit cards, and I genuinely felt stuck. I was really struggling with where I wanted to be versus where I currently was. Trapped in comparison and a little bit of bitterness, there were all these seeds I had been watering that felt like they were never going to sprout. Like, what am I even doing? Am I even doing the right thing? Just tired of the ups and downs and the highs and the lows of having so much hope and faith and striving all the time, and then feeling like it takes forever to see results, and then just waiting. Having found a way to progress that I know is gonna work, but it hasn't yet, and so I have to put so much faith into it every day that like, this is going to work out. I will see results. But sometimes that all comes crashing down because it takes a lot of energy to maintain a level of hope to uphold your vision, or a level of faith to uphold your vision. So I just had this moment where it all came crashing down, and I just felt like defeated and really in the dark winter cocoon. During that time, I just tried to let myself be in it and accept it, and I really found this deep sense of acceptance of where I am is the way through. This time last year and the year before that, I was in Guatemala living in community in the sunshine, you know, studying with plant medicine and all of these extremely expansive things, and just feeling so connected with myself and the earth and others. And it's been hard for me putting my head down and focusing, accepting that I am in a season of more isolation in order to focus on this dream that does involve community, and that it's just a season, and that acceptance has really carried me so far. I think I feel a deeper sense of peace and calm about where I am in this present moment, and that's just been my practice, coming back to presence, because whenever I feel lost, it's usually because I've strayed away from being present. The thing is, seeds don't sprout in the winter. They have to root down deep into the darkness before they can ever grow up. This was the hard process of reorienting myself to a more cyclical rhythm in life that I hoped would be worth it on the other side. It would take many months before anything would really shift in my life, but going through that period in order to be more synchronized with the flow of the natural world was so worth it. I often look back on this time and think, if only she knew how life would blossom. Even if we think we don't know how anything will turn out, the act of having faith and generating hope for the future is a practice of connecting with the version of you who's actually there living it. Call it delusional optimism, but I think this is the resilience and endurance that keeps life going. I decided to have a little ceremony with myself where I laid out these animal medicine cards in a medicine wheel spread where each animal represented one of the 4 directions. I reflected on the symbolism of the raven, deer, mountain lion, and hawk. The book described hawk as the messenger of the gods. I've always felt very connected to hawks, growing up in the southeast. They've always felt very majestic and mystical to me, and often appear in synchronistic moments. Later on, I had this vision of this seed in the ground, confined to the darkness, but it was like it was connected to a higher vision guiding its way. I saw a pair of omnipresent eyes piercing through soaring wings, representing being in the darkness and being in the unknown of the void, but still being connected to a higher vision. A lot of times when I paint, it's coming from a place of joy and feeling my energy flowing. But this painting came from a place of transmutation. It was hard to create, or at least hard to get into, because it forced me to really sit with my emotions and where I was really at the time. Doing that, I was able to turn it into something that I think is quite beautiful and quite mystical, and holds this message that the struggle and the growing pain is sacred. What I was really learning during this time was that the hard and confusing times are actually equally important, because that seed in the darkness and the flower that blooms are essentially the same thing. The seed has the blueprint for the flower, and it's all the same thing, you know? I'm gonna try and work on some painting today before Jeremy and I go on a little skate and coffee date. Yeah, I don't know. I woke up yesterday with this feeling of like defeat almost, and this feeling of like another day trying and not seeing any results yet. And today, because I know that I'm gonna be doing lots of things that I enjoy, I have this more expansive feelings. And like just taking a breath. It can be really hard to separate your emotions from that and from the end result. And just taking it day by day, I just have this feeling like on the days that I want to give up that I can't. Like I just gotta keep taking it day by day, and eventually something is gonna sprout out of the ground. Paving my own way has been fueled by this grand vision and this motivation and this belief, a lot of even like delusional optimism, and some days that just comes crashing down. And I think it's been really helpful to find a baseline of optimism and realistic expectation, you know. It's somewhere in the mix is like this baseline of I'm gonna just keep taking it day by day. So, yeah.
Nice try. Oh, God.